Hi everyone, it's me, Alura, and I've tried to do this video so many times already. It's happening just like it did with the last one, where I'm trying to get a message across that's really important. The video player shuts down, the audio shuts down, something happens. So this is like a millionth time that I've already tried. So I'm going to try to get the message out as quickly as I can while it's still working. And what I want to discuss is the reptilians. I've covered all the other starseed characteristics and traits and the consciousness that it kind of bring in their way of thinking and feeling in life. And the reptilians, I feel, is a very important subject to talk about because there's so much going on in the world because of them. I don't know if you guys can see right here up in the air, there's a lot of energy going on. You might see some movement. If you concentrate on that little spot, you might even see like the outline of a face. There's something here with me trying to keep me from giving you guys this message. So the reptilians will use your television to get into your mind. They have the government working with them. There's a lot of corrupt government leaders that actually are reptilians, and a lot of people think that this is a crazy way of thinking, but it's not. It's the truth. And if you look at all the research and information concerning it, you'll find that what a lot of us are saying about this is real. It's really going on. Sometimes the truth is stranger than fiction, guys. And they use television, the media, anything that they can basically get to the people's consciousness with. And what they do with the television is they project frequencies and waves out through the TV to mess with your mind so that while you're watching TV, you might not even be interested in what's on it, but you're kind of just staring at the television. And this is because of those frequencies. It makes you kind of sedated, kind of staring out in like a dream world while you're watching. And then they flash the subliminal messages through imagery, or they put them in the audio really faint, below human hearing, but the subconscious mind picks up on it. And this is why a lot of young kids are acting the way that they are nowadays. They're getting these subliminals and then they're acting out on it. You raise your children good, you're doing well when in your family home. There's no reason for the behavior, but yet they're still doing it. And it's because of them. It's because of the reptilians and their agenda. They also use your cell phone to listen and pick up information. You might lay your telephone down and you'll see the light go on by itself without even touching it. That's when you know you're being listened to. And I know that this all sounds very crazy and very paranoid, but this is reality. So also other things that they use a lot of celebrities to do backmasking subliminal messages in their music. If you play some of the audio backwards, you'll find that there's a message. Some of the government officials have messaging backwards in their speeches. If you play the speeches backwards, they're really doing everything that they can to mess with human mind. Now, they can get to other people, they can shapeshift, they can turn into a human physical form. So you might go out to the store and they appear as a regular human person and they cause you problems. If you look on YouTube, you might see, if you look up gang stalking, you'll see a lot of people and a lot of fights and a lot of stuff going on. This is because of them. They want people to turn against one another. They'll do anything that they can, promoting crime, promoting loose sexual conduct just to get disease spread. They're doing all this on purpose. They want us to run ourselves into the ground, so they don't even have to do any work. They just have to, get the people to do it for them. So they use a lot of spiritual energy. They'll project it into your home, make you think that you're being haunted, make you lose your mind. And then you're on a ton of medication, exactly what they want. They want you to be overly medicated so you don't know what's going on around you and you're totally lost, and then they can use you as a puppet, which brings me to the next topic. A lot of people have this happening to them and don't even realize it. They can actually project some kind of a tracking device consciously, just telepathically right to you. And it's in like a very small form that goes undetected. It's kind of like a spiritual device, an energetic device. I say spiritual because energy is spirit anyway, but they'll project it through energy and it'll just be on you, or they could just pick up on you at any time that they want to, and they follow you, they trace your movements. Especially if you're a star seed or you're an angelic like I am, you'll have this happen to you all the time. And I did a video on this in the past, the gang stalking video, and I'm so glad that this is still running because I really want to make sure I cover everything. But I did that video in the past because I wanted to present it and see the kind of reaction that I got to it, just so I could see where people were in their way of thinking. I know that a lot of people think this is really crazy, but this is true. So they'll also use like a lot of codes in form of knocking and popping sounds. It sounds like a plug being pulled out of the wall. It's like the strangest noise that you could ever hear. You know that it's not a tapping sound, but at the same time it sounds like a little bit of an electrical sound, but it's not. It's them, and this is like some kind of code that they communicate in. You might notice that if you're a very spiritual person, you're into spiritual studies, that somebody always interrupts you or bothers you or causes some kind of conflict or discord, because they're trying to get you from enhancing your mind and your intelligence. It's another reason why they got everybody on medication. A lot of children are on the Adderall. They have them classified as ADHD when they just might be a starseed, somebody very special, a very special way of thinking and doing things that's not according to the way it's traditionally done here. But they get them all on that medicine to keep them from being able to process it. And then from the medication, they think that they have a learning disability because the medication keeps them from learning. And a lot of people think that the medication is helping, but it's not. It's making it worse. They want to calcify your pineal gland so you have no spiritual reception, so you can't pick up on them. And they will take the form of your loved ones. Listen, I know this sounds so entirely crazy, but it's happening to so many people, not just me. And I know that many people can't be crazy. It's just too many people. If it was just one or two, I would say, okay, this sounds a little bit nuts. But this is so many people, it's ridiculous. So you might see them actually take on the form of your loved one. You might be sitting there and you'll look maybe down your hallway or something, and you'll see somebody in your family standing there, and then 10 seconds later you look behind you and maybe your mom or somebody is still in the kitchen and you had just seen her in the hallway. They do this on purpose. They're trying to mess with you. And you might see like doubles of people that you know when you're out in public and stuff like that. They're shape-shifting. They're taking on form. They want you to think you're being watched by these people. They want you to think you're being tracked by these people, when in all reality it's them that's doing it. And they just want us to run ourselves into the ground. They want us to think that we've completely lost our mind, turn to drugs and alcohol, turn to medication, and just give up on life and just be a walking, talking zombie or robot, whatever one you want to call it or refer it to. Because in that way, they're able to dominate and use mind control to keep you in that state so that they can do what they want with the world. Listen, we haven't had gold in the national treasury in so long. They've already used it all up. They're trying to build big devices in order to just totally eliminate mankind through nuclear warfare. They use the government, they use the military, anything that you can think of, they've got their hands into. They're behind the Illuminati, and they've also infiltrated some of the religious groups because they know that people crave for things that are spiritual. They want to connect with their higher selves. They want to connect with God. So they get in there knowing that that's where people are going to start looking. And a lot of people will say that angels, fallen angels, are reptilians. And what I have to say to that is the fallen angels and the reptilians are two totally different things. Just like starseeds and angels are two totally different things. You have the angelic race that have lived in other star systems, and then you just have those species of star people. And it's the same thing with the fallen angels and the reptilians. The reptilians are an ET race, and then you have the fallen angels who are just the angelic race who, fell from heaven or grace or whatever you want to call it and came here and started dominating. But the truth is that they do work together. They figure that somehow if, they can use their power and the reptilians can use their power, they can get together and kind of just take everything over. But with the consciousness the way that it is, with the New Age movement coming in, with the love and the light that everybody's projecting, we're starting to fight back and we're starting to come out of it. And if you can let go of your fear, which is one thing that they thrive off of, you'll be able to drive some of them away. So this is what I suggest to anybody that's having any kind of issues with any kind of bad energy being projected to them. If you don't know if it's a fallen angel or a reptilian, just do this. Turn your TV off at nighttime when you're sleeping. Unplug everything in your house, like all the electrical appliances, unplug them. Take the battery out of your cell phone and put it in a drawer. Just leave it there. Then what you're going to do is just do a white light protection and pray. This works. It really does. And if you hear anything going on, don't pay it any mind. Yes, they can read your thoughts, but you have to be quick and very smart about it. If you hear something and you just feel a little tiny pang of fear, just hurry up and get it out of there and concentrate on something else, because they're going to thrive off of that. As soon as they sense your fear, they're going to keep going at you. So if you can just let go of that fear and keep your mind focused on one positive thought and not allow them to have any kind of power over you, you will drive them away. With the shadow people, I know that there's a lot of controversy over shadow people. Listen, guys, you never know exactly who they are, because they could be any one of them. They project themselves here to pick up information. They could be fallen angels, they could be reptilians, they could be any star seed or star people. They could be people coming out of body in the astral realm, and they just choose to come in the form of dark energy for whatever reason or purpose. So you have to keep that in mind, because they might not always be malevolent, and you're allowing yourself to feel that fear maybe for no reason, and that will attract to you a real negative energy. So just make sure that you keep in mind that it might not be bad, and this way you don't attract anything bad. And also just ask them to leave, and then white light protection, and keep praying and keep positive. A lot of this stuff will end if you follow my advice. Make sure that you keep the televisions off though. And be careful what you allow to go into your mind. Keep your consciousness totally clear. Keep it free of anything that might defile it or mess it up. You're in the enlightenment process. You don't want to be enlightened towards the dark side. You want to be enlightened towards the light and have an all-knowing and understanding of the universe. And you can gain both sides of the fence. You can understand the dark matter and the light matter without having to experience the dark side. You can, once you're into the light and once you have all-knowing, you'll understand that side just from being on the opposite side, if that makes any sense to you. So I love you all. If you have any kind of like implants or any kind of gang stalking or spiritual torment or electromagnetic torment that you want to get rid of, I can help you. But the only thing that I ask is that when I do, you have to concentrate on the angelic light energy that I'm sending to you only. Once some of that negative energy senses that I'm sending the angelic light, they're going to try to fight even harder. And if you allow your mind to worry about that, you're going to knock out what I did. This has happened several times, and a lot of people have come back to me telling me, hey, you know, I felt better and now it's come back. Well, it's because you have allowed it to come back unknowingly by allowing yourself to look for anything that's happening. So you have to just concentrate on the positive when I do help you, if you guys ever do seek out my help. But just in general, just keep the electronics off at night. This way you're safe while you're sleeping, and perhaps maybe there's no line that they can get in by. And keep your fear levels down. Don't let them thrive off of it. Keep yourself shielded with white light. They can't penetrate it. And make sure that you keep yourself educated to everything that's on television and everything that you're putting into your minds, because anything can, even something like a religious program, could be laced with subliminal messages from the reptilians and the fallen angels as well. So I know that this all sounds a little bit far-fetched. I know it sounds very crazy. I know that there's a lot of skeptics out there. And I know I'll probably get a lot of criticism for this video, but I don't care, because I know there's a lot of you that do hear what I'm saying. You do resonate with what I'm saying, and it's happening to you probably. So I'm doing this video for all of you. I don't care about anything that anybody says, because this is how I feel. This is my experience. I've dealt with it all my life, and I've gotten rid of it finally. And now I'm trying to help others be aware and educated about it and get rid of it for themselves. So love and light to you all. Namaste. Stay positive, and remember, no doubt, no fear. Create, inspire, and I'll see you next video.